Imagine you're walking down the street, coffee in hand, when suddenly, whoosh, you float a few feet into the air like an astronaut on the moon. Then, just as you're enjoying the view, bam, gravity cranks back up and you slam into the sidewalk like you're carrying a backpack full of bowling balls. Yeah, that's what life would be like if gravity started fluctuating wildly. So let's set this up. Right now, gravity on Earth is steady and predictable. It pulls everything toward the ground at about 9.8 meters per second squared. No surprises, no randomness. But what if, instead of being constant, gravity started swinging up and down like a yo-yo? One moment it's weak, the next it's strong. Imagine the Earth becoming a planet-sized roller coaster with no safety harness. First things first, walking would be impossible. With low gravity, you'd bounce around like you're on a trampoline. Fun, right? But the instant gravity spikes, your knees would buckle under the sudden weight of your own body. Forget walking to work. You'd need to crawl just to avoid breaking an ankle. Sports? Absolute chaos. Basketball players would accidentally dunk from half court, then be crushed flat the moment they land. Imagine football where the quarterback throws a ball. It floats gently through the air and then drops like a meteor halfway down the field. Instant comedy and instant injuries. But it gets worse. Buildings and bridges are designed for steady, predictable forces. If gravity dropped suddenly, skyscrapers would creak and sway like giant trees in a storm. When gravity shot back up, all that weight would slam down at once. Over time, the stress would tear buildings apart. Cities could collapse, not from earthquakes, but from gravity hiccups. Now, picture the oceans. Low gravity? The water would rise up into massive waves, sloshing out of basins like someone shaking a bowl of soup. Then gravity strengthens, pulling everything back with a crash. Coastal cities would be in constant flood mode. Tides would become impossible to predict. Forget surfing. You'd be running for your life. And what about us, personally? Your heart and blood rely on steady gravity. In low-gravity moments, blood would rush toward your head, making you dizzy and giving you astronaut face puff. When gravity spikes, your heart would have to pump like crazy just to keep blood flowing. People with heart conditions, they wouldn't stand a chance. Okay, but here's the climax, the part where things really spiral. Air itself is held down by gravity. If gravity dipped too low, our atmosphere would literally start leaking into space. Imagine the sky thinning out every few minutes, then crashing back down. Breathing would feel like alternating between climbing Mount Everest and being pressed under a heavy blanket. Oxygen masks would become as normal as shoes. And satellites? They rely on predictable orbital speeds. Random gravity changes would yank them out of orbit, sending them crashing into Earth or flinging them into space. Global internet, GPS communications? Gone in days. At some point, the Earth itself might not survive. Our planet's orbit around the sun depends on a steady pull of gravity. If gravity fluctuated wildly on a cosmic scale, Earth could drift out of orbit or even be yanked closer to the sun. Either way, life as we know it wouldn't last very long. So what's the takeaway? Gravity's boring consistency is actually what makes life possible. It's the silent, invisible hand that holds oceans in place, keeps air around us, and lets us walk without either floating into space or being pancaked into the pavement. If it ever started fluctuating, well, we'd all be living in the world's most dangerous funhouse. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this wild ride into fluctuating gravity, give the video a like. It really helps the channel grow. And tell me in the comments, would you rather live in too little gravity or too much? Don't forget to subscribe for more Science Why. What ifs that make you rethink reality? Until next time, stay grounded, literally,